Welcome to Switched On Schoolhouse, a CD-ROM-based homeschool curriculum from Alpha Omega Publications. In Switched On Schoolhouse English 4, your students will study units that cover topics from three major language disciplines: grammar, literature, and composition. This high school language arts course covers topics like the worth of words, reading and research, medieval English literature, 17th and 18th century English literature, creative writing, and much more. Now let's take a look at an English 4 lesson to see how concepts like these are covered. In a unit entitled Romantic and Victorian Poetry, let's look at a lesson called Victorian Variety. Most Switched On Schoolhouse lessons begin with a brief introduction and a list of objectives for the lesson. These objectives help students stay focused on important lesson content and provide parents with an effective way to measure mastery of lesson content. At the beginning of most lessons, your students will also encounter a list of vocabulary words that will be used throughout the lesson. We've included several activities to encourage mastery of these important words. For example, students can hear the correct pronunciation of each word.
Propriety, imbue.
In addition, the vocabulary arcade games encourage mastery of the vocabulary words by providing practice in the correct spelling of each word and in matching each word with its definition. Let's look at a sample.
Spell the word imbue.
I-M-B-U-E. Yes.
Flashcards allow students to easily review the words and their definitions. Auditory learners may benefit from hearing text read aloud as they follow along. To utilize this feature, students select a portion of text, right-click to select from available voices or to read the text. An effective study skill that students should be encouraged to use is highlighting. Just as one would highlight portions of text in a traditional textbook, students can highlight text in their Switched On Schoolhouse lessons. Simply select a portion of text and select a highlighter color from the choices at the top of the page. After completing the first section of lesson text, the student can continue on to the next section of the lesson, reading the text and utilizing the included multimedia. As students study, it's important that they understand that what they're learning fits into a timeline of history. Any linked date or major event within the text of the lesson provides access to an interactive timeline. The timeline provides information about great civilizations, historical eras, significant events, and persons from history. Switched On Schoolhouse lessons are often filled with colorful photographs, maps, illustrations, and diagrams that are designed to enhance the learning environment and assist students in mastering lesson content. Web-enabled links allow students to safely use the Internet to locate carefully chosen supplements to course content. At the end of the lesson, the student is presented with a series of questions that provide a review of lesson content. Questions are presented in a variety of formats, including matching, fill in the blank, true and false, multiple select, click and place, essay questions, and many more. 85 to 90% of student work is graded instantly by the program. Answers are automatically saved as the student works through the questions, and immediate feedback is given after each question has been answered. If a parent has set the program to allow for multiple attempts, students will be looped back through the lesson to answer questions that
Good
were marked
answer.
wrong on the first attempt. The lesson is complete when all questions have been answered correctly or when the student has exhausted his allowed attempts on each question. The student can then return to the home page to continue through the rest of his daily assignments.